Dana, Dana. Hello everyone. Final Fantasy lover here. And welcome back to Skyrim. Let's get into it. Alright, so... yeah, that's right. We bought the house in freaking... we bought the house in Riften. Upgrade ourselves to glass. Alright, so now... okay, let's see. Let's get our co-host in here. Oh, great.
Dude, I was only in that doggy cage there for 4 hours, and I still was exhausted. Standing up for 4 hours just killed me.
Boo-hoo.
Yo, I'm 40 years old, bro. Standing up for 4 hours is like an achievement for me.
Oh man, I hate to see you do physical labor.
I've done physical labor before. I used to work at a warehouse, electrical supply warehouse, giving materials and pipes and shit.
Riften's under my protection. You watch
Right.
Now to say that I can't do it, but it's definitely gonna wreck me by the end of the day for sure. I mean, the dogs were well behaved enough. Some of them were a little rowdy, but you know, it's what it is. It's from what I've seen being there for the 4 hours, from the tasks that were given to me, rather the responsibilities that were given to me. It's not that much different than what I do at a dog run. Just watch the dogs and make sure they don't get into fights. Well, except for the cleanup of the pee. That's new. Because at a dog run, you don't clean up the pee because they are peeing outside. You don't gotta clean that up. Poop, the poop is different. You gotta clean up the poop. That's always a thing.
Pick up a poop!
Honored to see
well, you got it.
But anyway, hi. Well, good to have you on the stream here, buddy.
Oh my goodness, and you got me on this street talking about dog pee and poop. Well, I hope whoever's watching
Hashtag caught in 4K.
well, it's not really caught in 4K because there's no images with you, there's audio. Unless it's just like you using it as an expression. Yes, that's still counts.
Anyway, today we're just chilling back with some Skyrim today. I didn't really feel like playing anything.
But you're playing something.
Well, anything that required too much thought. And I already did my daily little grind of getting money in Red Dead Online today. So
like every other game you play.
Funny.
I mean, come on, let's be real. How much brain power is playing Final Fantasy 9 really?
Hey, it is a very trickling difficult game. If you're at least underleveled.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the matter is simply just being underleveled, that can be mitigated by just grinding. But the combat system is very straightforward. You attack the enemy, you kill the enemy. Some have elemental weaknesses, some don't.
Yeah, but they also have other neat tricks that go against them, like counterattacks and all that shit.
Who uses the Dane's counterattacks?
Well, I was referring to the bosses themselves. Less I think of Ozma, the better.
Oh, that. Well, that's different. That's not something you would know that just going in. Unless you looked it up. Unless you looked up a book strat before, then that's the story. Oh man.
Great. Different types of Spriggans. That's what I needed in my life. Okay, what the fuck is over here that's an enemy? Oh. It's a fox. Well, the fox is dead now.
Why would you do that? You fucking horrible person. I'm gonna report you to YouTube.
Because it was an enemy. It had the red dot over its head.
I'm reporting you to the ESPCA. They're not gonna cancel you.
Oh, wow. I'm so scared. Over a digital animal. Literally native. Nothing but ones and zeros.
Yo, if the ESPCA can come down and try to come down on Capcom for their piece of monsters and Monster Hunter World, they're gonna fucking come down on you.
It's a digital fox. It has no feelings.
Bro, that didn't stop people from complaining about Monster Hunter World. They were like, how can you kill these monsters? That's so good. That's fucked up. You're a bad person. Yeah, there were people who actually were upset you were killing monsters in Monster Hunter.
Those people are just dumb.
It's like that one game journal that played Resident Evil 2 Remake when it came out and actually complained she had to kill the zombies instead of be a healer. And she wanted to just kill people and not kill the zombies. I'm like, you're playing a fucking survival horror game with zombies, you stupid fucking twat. Good lord. Some people just stop fucking review games and just like go back in whatever suburban fucking hole they crawled out of.
Ah, that's a bear! Die!
It's like you played a survival horror game with zombies. Like I understand you want to be more of a humanitarian and whatnot, but guess what? Guess what, bitch? That's not the story Capcom is telling with this game. There's no humanitarians. There's just you and an evil corporation.
Look, okay, Google released an evil virus into the world, okay?
Exactly. These zombies are not your friend, woman. The dog-eat-dog world.
At least it's not like that one... Actually, that could be the same journal. The one that did a shitty review on RE2, even though they admit they didn't even play the second scenario at all.
Well, I don't know, but all I know is that I remember this one review of one woman who reviewed RE2 Remake, and she legit made a complaint about you killing zombies instead of just being like, you know, a humanitarian healer type person. She was upset she couldn't play the game her way. Like, she didn't want to kill zombies. She wanted to go around helping people.
Man, with the way you're making it out, DSP would be a perfect fit for a game journo.
I got nothing on
He tries to be one, but he's horrible.
Like, downstairs.
The reason why he's so horrible at reviewing is because his opinions about certain things are horrid. Like,
yeah, that's a troll.
What did he review? It's actually tried reviewing fucking like what game did he review? Like The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2. I remember he shat on that game hard. Now don't get me wrong, The Last of Us 2 is by no means a great game, but
oh no, here comes the contrarian section.
No contrarian, nothing. It's just a fact. The game was not 100% shit. There were plenty of things about the game that were. The inconsistent story, the bad pacing, ridiculous character personality swap between fucking Tommy and fucking Ellie. And the whole thing with fucking Abby, like it didn't need to be a thing. Like honestly, the thing they fucked up with the whole thing with Abby is splitting the game in two halves. Because like, I understand Naughty Dog wanted to be a secret. They didn't want to tell people about it. They didn't want to lie. But the thing is, when you advertise a sequel of the Love PS4, and then you make the game only half of the main character, and the other half to a character you know you're gonna make people dislike. They knew they were gonna make people dislike this character, and you make people play as this character, so you can see her side of things. But the problem is though, is that that's a horrible take. Not a horrible take, but a horrible way to go about it, because you're just gonna make the player base just not want to play your game. Because regardless of like what they could have done, if they could have maybe done like a spin-off game or a DLC maybe that involved you playing as Abby prior to ever playing Joel, let's say, right? Like the DLC could pick up sometime around when her dad's like in the hospital, and they could have done it like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
They could have done something like that.
Anyway, back onto the topic of DSP
anyway,
and reviewing the game.
No, the point is that like his review of like that game was just incredibly just like he shat on it too much simply because he didn't like Neil Druckmann for some reason, because Twitter was hating on Neil Druckmann, so DSP hates Neil Druckmann, and his takes on the game were just got off. Like the game, control wise, the game is great. It controls awesome. The settings, the areas were well designed. So many quality of life changes from the first game to the second. Like so many things they made way better in the second game. But like, it's just his opinions about certain things. Like when he reviews things, his opinions about things are incredibly just off. Like when he was shitting on the Final Fantasy VII remake with the whole Cloud cross-dressing thing, and saying that Square was trying to be edgy, and this is not my Final Fantasy. Like, bro, what? Square wasn't trying to be edgy, nothing. Cloud didn't want Aerith going into Corneo's mansion by herself, so Aerith had the idea, hey Cloud, let's put you in a dress. I mean, that's the reason that, the logical conclusion, you don't want to go in there by yourself, then well, you gotta look like a girl. It was a logical direction the story would take in that part of the game, and a lot of people back in Final Fantasy VII, basically everyone but DSP liked that part too, because everyone that heard about the remake of this game, I'm pretty sure all wanted to know if the cross-dressing scene was still going to be in it. I'm pretty fucking sure that's what they all were thinking. They were like, the cross-dressing scene better be in the game, or I'm quitting.
Yep, pretty much.
Everyone loved that part. It was hilarious. It was funny. People loved it, and they made it better in the remake. That fucking dancing number, that was so cool. They made it fucking even better in the remake. So like,
heck, they even kept the original method in a side quest.
Exactly. That's really cool. That was the part. They handled that part so awesome. They made Walmart so alive in that. It was the thing. But DSP, of course, chose to use that part as a second thing. Shitting on it, because DSP has a hate boner for Final Fantasy VII. Like, because he's one of those people, much like, he's one of those people that hates things that people love, pretty much. Like anything that's really popular, DSP's gonna hate it because people love it. And don't get me wrong, like Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VI are two of the most overhyped fucking Final Fantasy games in the fucking franchise. The fans of both games are so overzealous and so insane that they love these games like way too much. Like don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy VI was and is a good RPG. It's got great music. It's got a good story. It's got a lot of good characters.
It's definitely one of the best games you could find on the Super Nintendo. Cough, cough.
Yeah, it is by no means a bad game. The part with the Phantom, the forest with the Phantom train and shit, that was a cool part. I love that part.
The fact that the villain technically won because he fucked up the whole planet.
And I mean, how many games did you get to play as a character to suplex the train? Come on.
I think, if I recall correctly, that was just a technical glitch on their end.
It's still funny though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
yeah, I can 100% agree that both games are overly hyped, and the true best game is Final Fantasy IX. Cough, cough.
Final Fantasy IX definitely is good too. Final Fantasy IX is an amazing game.
Dude, 9 is
got a solid story.
9 was so criminally underrated when it came out.
Was it really? It's got a slamming soundtrack. It had a good.
Dude, nobody fucking played it because of the way it looked.
It looked fine to me.
It had a, as all Final Fantasy fans, they were pulled off because it had a more cartoony looking.
Are they talking about the chibi shits with the big heads?
Yeah, it's like with Wind Waker when that game fucking came out.
People are weird.
Yeah. And not to mention, it was coming out literally a year later. Final Fantasy X was coming out. Like, Final Fantasy IX came out on the very tail end of the PS1's life cycle. I mean tail end. Oh yeah, no doubtably, it's definitely my favorite Final Fantasy.
Like Final Fantasy IX is like home to one of the most tear-jerking scenes in a Final Fantasy game. The end when the Danes fucking depression walking through the freaking last area of the game.
Heck, what?
Yo, fucking
slight spoilers for Final Fantasy IX, by the way.
Like thinking that he's all alone by himself, knowing he's worthless, and you know.
But it hits even harder, especially when he was like he's the life of the group, like. He is basically the upbeat, happy one. So when he's fucking sad and depressed, oh, you know shit's fucked.
And his teammates show up one by one, tell him how stupid he is and help him out.
It's like Zidane has to be one of my favorite main characters in any
Amarant
RPG.
Fucking shows up to help him out, and Amarant doesn't.
Amarant
doesn't like nobody.
They're gonna name an Amarant in my playthrough after Anne. And 1337. And like for a PlayStation 1 game, if you look at the original PlayStation 1 version, that game holds up significantly well.
The visuals are still pretty solid for being a PS1 game.
Also, in that game, you could tell they had the fucking budget for more CGI cutscenes. Like, you go through all of Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. 9 has the most out of those three.
I mean, they were starting with the CGI with 7, but like, ever since like 8, 9, and 10, like, their CGI for their games were fucking like insane.
Definitely.
Like Final Fantasy VIII, despite some things about the game I dislike, the things that I definitely can compliment the fuck out of that game for is the banging soundtrack and the fucking banging ass cutscenes. The characters.
Never seen the old.
The characters are kind of a mixed bag for me. I didn't really like too many of them.
Internet, why? Okay, my internet died. I did not hear the rest of your conversation.
What part didn't you hear?
Yeah, you cut out right after you said Erwin.
Erwin was a whiny bitch, so I didn't like him that much. Selfie was obnoxious as fuck.
You mean 8. I was talking about 9.
Oh, 9. Oh, 9. I like pretty much everybody in 9.
I guess the only one people really don't like is either Quina or Amarant.
I kind of liked Quina. I thought she was funny. She was
Technically, Queen is a they. They don't really know what to call them.
Yeah, Well, I guess to not offend the Quinnas of the world.
It doesn't really matter.
I'm gonna call Quinnas.
I think in the common consensus is most. Ooh, that's a bear.
Quinna was a
Well, the game calls them a he a lot, so.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna let me
Well,
watch
okay,
or
I'll call Quinna.
We're the best damn fighters in
I
Skyrim.
like Quinna because he was fun. I like his goofiness.
I'm in charge of me, and you're in charge
like,
of you.
He had a wide height. You know, it's kind of fucking Dragon Ball for the first time, and watching Goku being like surprised at everything he sees because he lived his entire life on a mountain, and everything's just new and interesting to him. It was kind of like that with Quinna. I actually like that about it. I thought that
Well,
was
that's more of a
fun.
VV thing, really.
Well, Vina was like that too, but Quinna was like that also. Quinna had that same type of, every new thing that, I eat this, can I eat this? Yeah, sure, Quinna go nuts.
Quita, stop licking the horse manure! Nyah!
Vivi I liked, obviously.
Vivi has to be one of the best characters in that game, because he's a depressed little boy.
Yeah. Stainer, he's definitely one of those characters that you don't like in the beginning because of how much of an asshole they make him, but they definitely make you like him more, as the game goes on.
Steiner's only an asshole because that's his duty.
Yes, I know why. But I'm saying, you tend to like him a lot.
Oh yeah.
Dagger, I mean, I was alright with Dagger. I didn't dislike her. She's okay. Amaranth, I like Amaranth. Yeah, he was an edgelord, sure, but he was cool.
Amaranth was kind of, it's kind of there. He doesn't really do much.
Yeah, but he didn't really do much for me to dislike him either. He wasn't a.
I mean, yeah, he's inoffensive enough.
He was the badass.
Eh, he's not really the best to use in parties.
Who the hell was that in my party? And Aiko's okay. I thought she's a very good healer, very powerful healer.
Oh yeah, Aiko is like pure white mage, where Garnet / Dagger is leaning more towards summoner when you actually get the summoning shit.
I just look at how a good quarter of the game that catches you with all those summons you can't cast because you don't have the MP for them.
And then it's like, oh, you wanted to use those? Oh, we're taking those away now.
And then they take them away. Get them.
Here, have the gems for them back. Oh, what's that? Now you gotta grind AP for them. Honestly, grinding AP for summons isn't that hard.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the overall class, I think 8 was the Final Fantasy game where I disliked too much on that. Well, no, it was 2. Like everyone else I was okay with. It was just Irwin. Is it Irwin or Irwin? No, it was Irwin.
I think it's Irwin.
Irwin and Cowboy Man and Selfie. I hated those two so much. It was so irritating characters. I think the one thing that bothered me about Irwin was they introduced him as this this cool laid back cowboy, and then his personality shows and he's a whiny bitch. Like, oh well, I just got catfished.
I mean, how would you feel if you had to shoot the one that practically raised you, and realizing not everyone else remembers it?
Irwin didn't remember that woman raised him.
Actually, yeah, he did. He was the only one that remembered.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
That's why he choked up during that segment, is because he actually knows who the witch is.
Oh. Yeah, well, now I feel like an asshole now.
Well, don't you just feel like an asshole now? I think you owe him a bit of an apology.
I haven't played 8 in so long, I totally forgot he actually remembered who fucking Adea was. But I mean...
Traveler's note, I am in a cave full of trolls.
But still, I mean, he was trained to do this. This was something he was supposed to do. I mean, Matron or not, he was the bad guy. You know, his job was to take her out. As an assassin, you have to separate yourself from those feelings.
Well, keep in mind, he's also like a teenager, and that's kind of hard for him to do as a teenager.
They are in a military school.
Yeah, but they are teenagers and they got hormones and shit. Let's see. I could have sworn there was something in the water. What? Oh.
So, Selphie, at least with Selphie, they were upfront with her obnoxiousness.
Oh, yeah, potion of magic. Nice.
It's like when you first meet her, you just want to shove her off that cliff.
Selphie did nothing wrong.
Like, hey guys, hey Selphie, what's that? What? And she was never heard from again. Christmas is like, where's Selphie? Oh.
Oh no.
You get back to the boat, and she's like, where's Selphie from the other class? Oh, what?
What are your thoughts on Zell?
Zell was he was a dude bro character. He was okay. He was a typical dude bro party member.
Apparently, his face tattoos were based off of Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I kind of gathered as much. I mean, Zell was alright. He was very hyper energetic. You know, always wanted to. You know, he was okay. I had no qualms with Zell.
It's kind of like knowing the Orin was based off of Bruce Willis. Now you can't unsee it.
I never could unsee it when I first played the game. We talked about it. His face screams Bruce Willis. I love the developer's explanation about the whole lip syncing thing with Orin and how they were able to get away with a lot of shit because his mouth was covered by his coat, so they didn't have to worry about lip syncing him.
I mean, hey, technical shortcuts are technical shortcuts. I'm not about to diss those.
Oh no, I mean it's whatever. It was so funny. But yeah. 10 mechanically as a game, I liked. It had good music, it had good CG.
Like 10 is good.
System I liked. The sphere system, I know some people in the beginning I know disliked it. I didn't bother. The only problem with 10 I would have to say is probably Tidus and his fucking daddy problem. It was just like the whole game was just one big, I hate my dad! And it was just totally irritating.
I mean, Jet was kind of an abusive prick to him.
No, he wasn't. He was showing tough love. Because Jack, Jack was, he was a bit of a deuce. But I mean, tough love is not, it didn't mean. Okay, it didn't mean that he didn't love his son. He was just, he was tough on him because he didn't want to grow up to be a pussy.
I mean, Jet was a major alcoholic. So that wasn't really good on him either.
Listen. Regardless, the entire game was just fucking Peter saying how much he hated his dad. And I was tired of fucking hearing it.
He doesn't say that throughout the whole game.
Every time I hate you, Dad.
I mean, yeah, how would you feel if you lived in the shadow of the best person ever?
I probably would be a little more understanding knowing that he's now entrapped inside a fucking gargantuan monster that he has no control over because he helped save the world.
Yep.
I'd be a little less of an asshole about it, knowing that information. But what does Tidus do? I hate you, Dad!
God damn it, Dad, fuck you!
Like at first you can understand because Jack was an asshole to him, but then later on when you find out that during when Jack participated in the pilgrimage and whatnot and assisted what was Yuna's father's name again?
Braska.
He helped Braska and Orin save Spira, which is the future of their planet, whatever. And sacrificed himself to be the resurrection of this monster that he's chasing. You would think he'd put his daddy issues aside, but no, I hate you, Dad! Like, damn, dude, yeah, I understand you had issues with your dad, but the motherfucker, he turned his shit around.
God damn it, Dad, you're killing people just to see me. What the fuck, man?
He even told Oren to go back and look after you because he couldn't. I mean, yeah, he fell out, man. He knew us a dick about it.
Hey, man, daddy issues are daddy issues.
Daddy issues are daddy issues, yeah, but then once you find out that, your dad, did the things that he did,
My dad's a giant whale. What the fuck?
I think, you would, put your, animosity towards him aside and be like, well, yeah, my dad was a bit of an asshole, but shit, he saved the world. Maybe you can be proud of him, maybe a little bit. Just a little bit of pride, a little bit of proud of your dad. No, just more fuck you, dad. Huh? Okay, all right, Peter.
I'm incredibly disappointed. I am searching all over this mine, and there is not a single thing to mine in this.
But gameplay-wise, this is solid.
Okay, how do I get over there?
My thing is, they didn't make the final boss hard enough in that game. Because like, if you're one of those people that like over levels every RPG, and like Square had to have known that people were gonna fill up those sphere grids and power level the fuck out of their characters. They had to have known that people were gonna make their fucking characters just like broken as fuck by endgame. And they left like the final boss at whatever like stats they gave him. And it was like, oh well, you made your character's too strong and you beat the final boss with like 2-3 hits. What you do about it, I guess?
Hey, just think of it as a reward for all your hard work.
So I know when I did the Dark Aeon, I killed that motherfucker with like 2 hits.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the post game.
Provided I actually hit them, because they also had all the agility that my Aeons had, which kind of made it hard to hit them sometimes. So,
yeah, I mean, you could get the celestial weapons, but the less I think about those, the better, because they would save me the migraine.
Oh, I got those. That was what I did. That was what I did my first playthrough.
You dodged all 200 bolts of lightning.
I did.
You
took me a minute.
Poor sorry soul.
It took me a minute. And then when I found out that you can actually build a better version of those celestial weapons without actually having to do all that nonsense, I was like, whatever.
I mean, you had to get the first half in order to actually upgrade it to its better version. Not to mention some of those are missable.
No, what I mean is, like, I heard that you can actually create a weapon that was better than the celestial weapon.
Yeah. Well, it's either do bullshit minigame or farm for stupidly rare materials. Your choice, kiddo.
Let's see. Kamari's was involved in those butterflies.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Titus's was chocobo racing.
And the chocobo. Oh yeah, the chocobo racing. Yo, that shit. If I had the amount of time that I got screwed from that thing, where you're coming to like the final turn of the race, and you're gonna win, and a bird just comes off screen and.
Oh, that's the fun part about that. That is literal RNG.
I'm like, every time I'm like, you're right there, you're gonna win, and then, and your chocobo stops for a second or two, and you're like,
oh, you better pray that this run's RNG actually gives you enough balloons to win, because
oh my god, that's
if
so
not,
hard.
you're fucked. Also, I hope you like Blitzball, otherwise you're not getting walk as shit.
Yeah, I did that too.
Ugh.
Well, Blitzball was easier. Once you get Jack Shot and Jack Shot 2, Blitzball's a cakewalk. Yeah, you just get the ball, just get Titus close enough to the goal, pass the ball to him, and just score.
Well, even then, you need better teammates than the ones you already got, because those. The game